Sean Manaea has been everything the A's had hoped for this season. Manaea was called up at the end of April, and ever since, he has delivered for the green and gold. Last year's trade acquisition looks to be a mainstay in the A's rotation for years to come. With a week left in the season, Manaea will get 2 more starts to wrap up his 2016 campaign. Tonight, he will face off against the Angels and try to hold down the big bats of Mike Trout and future Hall of Famer Albert Pujols. It's game 1 of 3. A's and Angels next. Final road trip of the year for the A's. We're in Southern California. Record high temperatures today in Anaheim. It is smoking hot. We're at the Big A in Anaheim. First of 3, it's the A's and it's the Angels coming up on CSN California. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Oakland A's Baseball. Along with Ray Fossey, I'm Glenn Kuiper. The big left-hander, Sean Manaea, will make his 23rd start of the year. He's finishing strong, Ray. He has not allowed a run in his last 2 starts.
You know, it's amazing. You watch him pitch. He's a big, tall pitcher, and you think, well, can he throw? He can throw. He's got 3 solid pitches he can use at any time. Great changeup that he's been using. 7 strikeouts against the Astros, using all of his pitches. Hard slider to the back foot. The one problem, if he does have a problem, is nailing the outside corner to the right-handed hitters. But he's able to pitch inside very effectively, especially with fastballs. He also goes a changeup. 3 great pitches, and for him, as he says, I learn every time I take the mound about how I can make myself better.
Albert Pujols is in his 5th season with the Angels, and Ray, I think if you look at the numbers, this is his best season so far here in Anaheim.
Well, he's doing right now what he probably will do a lot the rest of his career, and that's DH. He can still hit. He's an upper body, very, very strong hitter. It seems like every time he makes contact, it really travels, and unfortunately, the A's have seen that firsthand, as you will see at the end of this. But he is a tremendous hitter. Stephen Vogt puts the helmet up, mask up, let's go, walk off. But he knows how to hit. He knows how to drive in runs. And for him, this Angels ball club knows that they want him in the middle of the lineup, whether it's playing first base or DHing.
And sitting on 591 career home runs. Now the Angels will send the veteran right-hander Jared Weaver to the mound. Weaver looking for his 13th win of the year. So Manaea and Weaver in game 1 of the 3-game series from Anaheim. We'll have lineups and first pitch from Southern California right after this.
CSN California is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Taste the all-new Jack's Brewhouse Bacon Burger today at Jack in the Box. Limited time only at participating restaurants. By Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places. And by America's Tire. Your low-price journey starts here.
Welcome back to Angel Stadium of Anaheim on a warm night here in Southern California as the A's wrapping up this 2016 season with their final road trip, 3 here in Anaheim and then 4 up in Seattle. Game time weather presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is open this weekend. Check out this temperature, folks. It says 89 degrees. Today here in Anaheim, it was, I heard, 104 was as high as it got up to.
That's exactly right.
So it was very, very hot, near record temperatures.
You're a good meteorologist.
Yeah, just throw a triple-digit number out there and it sounds good, but that's what I saw today. So it has cooled off a little bit.
But it's not long sleeve shirt weather.
No.
And I think it's just one of those days that you take advantage of the warmth. And, you know, we talked about the last time the A's played the Angels and how conducive it is to have players play in this weather. You get a little bit of age on you. This weather's perfect. Come out every day. You don't have to worry about cold weather bubbling up. They're already starting to do that back on the East Coast.
All right, let's get things started with a look at the lineup for the Athletics. Joey Wendell will lead off, then Stephen Vogt. Vogt will DH. Healy, Davis, Alonso. Yonder Alonso loves to hit in this ballpark. Keep an eye on that. And Valencia, Simeon, Maxwell, and Eidner.
And the veteran Jared Weaver on the mound, and he has faced the A's 4 times this year. Last start went just 4 innings, had a couple of walks scored, also a home run against him. He's not overpowering with any of his pitches. He relies on deception and especially using off-speed pitches in fastball counts. His fastball is not thrown very hard anyway, so that's why he uses all kinds of different pitches to throw. The question for him is, will he continue beyond this year?
Defensively behind Weaver, Angels line up like this. Marte in left, Trout in center, Calhoun in right, Escobar third, Simmons at short, Gregorio Petit, former Athletic, at second, C.J. Cron at first, and Jet Bandy is the catcher. So Weaver finishing up his warm-up tosses, and we're just about set for baseball. Not a real big crowd on a Monday night. Both these teams not where they wanted to be at this point in the season in the standings. But they will finish it out. Angels with the A's on the road. The Angels will be at home for the rest of this week. They'll host the Houston Astros this weekend after an off day on Thursday. And the A's will play through the whole week with the 4-game series in Seattle starting Thursday night. A few games going on of importance. We'll let you know what's going on there with that American League wild card race. Does not look like that will be settled for 3 or 4 games. So Joey Wendell's ready. Jared Weaver's almost ready. So the big tall right-hander stands up on top of the mound with the 12-12 record. First pitch to Joey Wendell is in for a strike. So Wendell, Vogt, and Healy. Wendell at 274 with a homer and 9 RBI. Rolled foul.
And I'm sure the one thing that Darren Bush would say to all the young hitters who have never faced Jared Weaver is don't look for too much. Because he is the best at changing speeds off of, well, it's kind of like Michael Bourne when he hit the pitch off him, the changeup off the changeup.
Roll to the backstop. Count remains 0-2 to Wendell. He's come in 67 and 88 is their record. Facing Weaver for the 5th time. 1-0 with a 4.56 ERA in the 4 starts so far. And of course, that one win was that shutout on the 19th of June at the Coliseum. where he just sliced his way right through the A's lineup. Frustrating afternoon for the Athletics. Fastball away at 85 miles an hour. This is the 17th game of the year between these two teams, and the A's are 7-9 against the Angels. Well, if they're going to win the season series, they'll have to pull off a 3-game sweep. Hooked foul.
They'd like to do that in addition to taking care of the Seattle Mariners and finish ahead of the Angels in the division.
So there's the series note. A's 4-3 here in Anaheim, 3-6 in Oakland. Curveball hit hard again, foul. So Joey Wendell putting a good battle and seeing a little bit of everything from Jared Weaver. Well, you're going to see a little bit of everything anyways. Hit hard up the middle, but a nice scoop by Simmons, who was shaded up the middle. And boy, he's got very soft hands. He showed it there. He's got a Gold Glove or two. So a hard hit ball.
Amazing where he is playing him, and just happened to move a few steps. Looked like a base hit up the middle. Great advance by Joey Wendell, but just could not get the ball past Simmons. Got it past Jared Weaver, tried to kick it, and of course if Weaver kicks it, probably a base hit. It does not get to the sure hands of Simmons, and yeah, he's got a few Gold Gloves. Got to get more.
So with 1 out, Stephen Vogt steps up. Stephen Vogt at .254, 12 home runs, 53 runs batted in.
And one consolation for Stephen Vogt, even though he's not catching a lot, caught his 100th game over the weekend against with Kendall Graveman. He may catch him, but want to see what Maxwell can do. So at least Stephen is DHing. They prefer to be behind the plate.
Oh, 2 to Vogt. Off-speed pitch at 76 miles an hour. You won't get anything over 85 from Weaver.
And for a pitcher who loses velocity, you have to make sure that if you're throwing the off-speed pitches, that you have to reduce the velocity on the off-speed pitches because your fastball is not there any longer.
And down and in with that breaking ball, and he gets Stephen Vogt swinging. So the fastball velocity has kind of been the talk about Weaver the last couple of years. Now I just think people realize it's just where it is. I mean, but it has gone down a lot. In the last 5 years, it's gone from 87.5 miles per hour down to 83 this year. So that is a significant drop off. But he has still managed this year to win 12 games.
Yeah, you win 12 to 15. Of course, a normal season for the Angels, he might be 15 plus. But you do that throwing really the velocities that we just showed, still has value because he really throws under the average when it comes to the velocity of his fastball.
Facing Ryan Healy. Well, you mentioned it. The question is, will Weaver keep pitching? He is a free agent at the end of this year. He's 33 years old. He's had a very good career, his 11th year in the big leagues. Do the Angels want him back, and does he want to keep pitching?
To think if he's going to continue, he wants to stay here.
Well, you would think, yeah.
It's his hometown. He's been in the organization and very familiar. A lot depends on the health of some of the starting pitchers who have been on the disabled list.
And to Simmons, and him played correctly, and that's a 3-up, 3-down inning for Weaver. Bottom of the first coming up. No score from Anaheim. the big left-hander Sean Manaea. This is the Angels lineup. Escobar, Calhoun, Trout, Pujols, Marte, Cron, Simmons, Bandy, and Gregorio Petit.
Sean Manaea, one start, and it was here. He gave up 2 home runs. Bandy and Marte accounting for all 5 runs. So one of the 9 losses against the Angels, and pitched well against Houston last start, as we noted. And of course, he's pitched well against the Astros all season. And that is great, because between the Astros, the Angels, the Mariners, the Rangers, seeing those teams the most, get a lot of starts against the Western Division teams.
So Manaea is ready as Yunel Escobar steps in. First pitch to Escobar is hit to short. Scooped up by Marcus Semien. 1 out. So Escobar does not wait around. He's retired. A's will have Chris Davis in left field, Brett Eibner in center, Danny Valencia in right, Healy, Semien, Wendell, and Alonso on the infield, Bruce Maxwell doing the catching.
So you're saying when Carlos Gomez and Escobar played back-to-back series, they all swing at first pitches?
Yeah, what if they were teammates and you batted them first and second?
2 pitches into the game, the A's have 2 outs. Yeah, they swing a lot. It was Gomez on Friday night that started at the first hit against Kendall Graveman to end the perfect game.
Cole Calhoun, 17 home runs, 70 RBIs. Another solid season for Calhoun. He's got 30 doubles. He's got 4 triples. Umpires tonight, that's Alfonso Marquez calling balls and strikes. Blackney, Woodring, and Vanover. Larry Vanover is at third. He's your crew chief. Two and one to Cole Calhoun with Mike Trout waiting in the on-deck circle.
We said about Cole Calhoun, regardless who pitches, he's in the lineup. Gold Glove right fielder. He's got Trout hitting behind him. But Cole Calhoun, he's in the lineup every day. And it says a lot about his ability to hit lefties as well as righties, sometimes better than hitter against lefties.
Seems like, and I don't have the numbers, just from the amount of time we've seen him now, is he's gotten better against left-handed pitching.
I think it's basically an opportunity to play against all of them, including those lefties. And there's the numbers. The 170 against lefties. Not a lot of hitters will face him. Not a lot of lefties will, because first of all, his size and a hard slider that he throws. Kind of slings the ball, makes it difficult for lefties to pick up the ball.
Curveball that just did not curve much. And it hits Calhoun on the backside.
A 2-strike curveball that doesn't break, and all Calhoun just turn his backside, and that's where he takes it.
Well, as they say, if you're going to get hit with a certain pitch in a certain spot, that's a good combination.
Yeah, he had both of them working.
Yep,
slow curveball on the backside.
So here's Trout. Look at those numbers. Terrific season. MVP candidate again. That one bounced up the middle into center field, a base hit. Calhoun stops at second. Trout does not wait around.
Sean Manaea fielding his position. Looks like he pulled back a little bit, or as he reached for it, maybe just see if he does. Now he tried to catch the ball, and couldn't, and maybe realized at that point it's hit so hard, not want to deflect it, but as it turned out, nobody was there.
2 on 1 out for Albert Pujols. Talked about Pujols in the open. What a great season he is having. First pitch is a fastball, just a little bit outside. 270 with 31 home runs and 118 RBIs.
Have to look out for the left side, the right side of the infield, especially with the shift using the left side. If you can get a ground ball to left side, you can turn a double play. He also will take a base hit to right field, take the run batted in.
The hit total for Albert Pujols, 2,825.
So next year, too, will reach 3,000.
Yep. Takes a fastball. That one catches the outside corner for a strike.
That's the pitch that Sean Manaea, if he could nail that part of the plate consistently, really might be unhittable. It's the outside corner. He can hit the inside corner with the slider and, of course, a good fastball. I just saw Jonathan Lucroy, the Rangers, with his lefties set up inside to pretty much every right-handed hitter.
A foul ball. Edwin Encarnacion leads the American League in RBIs with 125. Ortiz has 124. And then Pujols is third with 118. Red Sox. Actually, it was not a foul ball.
I was going to say, yeah.
Called time. See, he asked for time, and then Marquez put his hand up, and then that means timeout was granted.
Yeah, because I didn't see the ball hit
either.
any place to indicate a foul ball, and especially with it going back to Manaea.
So the Boston Red Sox have 3 of the top 5 RBI guys in the American League. Why? We should not be surprised. Chris Davis sneaking in on that list, and it's a good list. Two pitch, bounce back to Manaea, who scoops, looks at second, and then throws a changeup to first. And Yonder Alonso, thank goodness, digs it out. So second and third, 2 outs.
Unfortunately, Manaea had Alonso at first base because when he threw the ball into the ground, with Alonso making the play, he's coming across the bag, keeping his foot on the bag, making the scoop. And ideally, I'd like to just stand there and take the throw, but he was on the move, but tremendous hands, and he's able to handle it.
So here's Jeffrey Marte. Jeffrey Marte getting a chance to play quite a bit for the Angels, hitting .251 with 12 home runs, 38 RBIs. Marte playing left field tonight. I think Marte's kind of getting the Ryan Healy treatment, a good long look in the lineup to see what he can do.
Well, one thing you hope that it's remembered by Manaea, because Maxwell, I don't think, was here to catch him, but when Marte hit the home run, he tried to go inside with the fastball, and he left it out over the plate and hit a 3-run home run.
Healy scoops it up, straightens up, throws low. Alonso again digs it out. Thank you very much, Yonder Alonso. So the Angels do not score. No score after 1.
Live streaming sports service. Watch every out-of-market game live in HD on over 400 supported devices. Includes a free subscription to At-Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details.
Always A's fans down here in Southern California.
They wanted to bring some cool weather, but they forgot.
They did. It's all right. We'll get our nice, cool fall weather this weekend in Seattle. It's actually supposed to be a little bit rainy, of course.
Rainy and cold.
Who knows? 3-4 days away, but it'll be cooler, and that's okay with me.
Yeah, I agree.
I like that cool weather up there. Feels good. No swing. 1-1 to Chris Davis. Davis at 249 with 40 homers, 99 RBIs.
The 39th and 40th home runs came so easily. Getting that elusive 100th ribby. It's one that let's hope he doesn't have to wait till next weekend. This weekend.
Even the RBI leaders, the home run leaders, were Davis is 5th. Mark Trumbo has 45, Dozier 42, Encarnacion 42. Edwin Encarnacion really not getting mentioned a whole lot as far as MVP candidates, but 42 home runs, 125 RBIs in a free agent season.
Some say they don't want to look at DHs for MVP, but I mean, you're still producing. I don't care if you're defensive or not, but look what David Ortiz has done to help the Red Sox, and of course Encarnacion with the Blue Jays. How about this slow curve? Just throws like it's throwing 120 miles an hour and all body from Jared Weaver, and then flips the ball up with about a 69 mile an hour velocity, and it's a big strikeout.
He will frustrate you.
Oh, but I think the deception is amazing. His effort with his body, like he's really throwing hard, but just nothing comes out, and that's all the deception part for him.
Yeah, we've talked about that before with Jared Weaver. Had big league hitters tell us that the ball just comes out of a different spot when Jared Weaver pitches, and he throws across his body, and he's kind of up over top. But that may not seem like a big deal, but hitters said it's different. Can't explain it. It's just different. So that may be what's kind of helping him remain somewhat effective, even though maybe his stuff isn't quite as good as it used to be. But you watch him throw, how he throws across his body, but yet most guys who throw across their body, Ray, are 3/4. He's still up on top.
Exactly. Yeah.
So 2nd in Angels history in wins behind Finley, 3rd in strikeouts. Also 3rd in innings pitched. So he's really had a very, very good career, and he gets another strikeout. Making ball down and in. And he has struck out 3 of the first 5.
Yeah, that's the slider that he threw also to vote to get him for strike 3, and it must be from the hitter standpoint that like it looks so good to hit, and then all of a sudden it's nowhere to be seen. But you're right over the top, and that's the hard slider. And for Jet Bandy, the rookie catcher, it's got to be the thrill for him to be behind the plate, just putting down the fingers, anything he wants to throw.
So 2 away for Valencia. Valencia at 288 with 17 home runs and 51 runs batted in. He got good numbers against Weaver. He's got 3 home runs in his career. Valencia playing right field tonight. Right field and first base have been his 2 spots in the second half after playing exclusively at third base in the first half.
That pitch you just saw was what he did hitting in the first inning against Jared Weaver. A 2-run home run. The A's, of course, Alcantara gave up 3 in the first and 5 in the first 3. It was at 8 on the board. Jared Weaver couldn't get out of the 4th inning. It qualified for the victory, even though it was a 10-7 win.
Kind of an ugly game all around that day.
Yes, it was. Especially when a hitter gets hit with the bat or on the bat, he's given first base.
So Valencia hits it hard, but he's retired. 6 up, 6 down for Weaver. No scores to go to the bottom of the second. AAA, get a free A's Stadium blanket with any new AAA membership. Visit a participating AAA branch today. Restrictions apply. Manaya's first pitch is bounced over the mound right to Wendell. Wendell throws out C.J. Cron, 1 out. So 1 pitch, 1 out for Sean Manaea. The Angels stranded a pair in the first inning.
You got 2 pitchers tonight capable of getting fly ball outs. You had Jared Weaver, ground ball outs. Sean Manaea, 4 ground ball outs already.
So here's Andrelton Simmons. Simmons at 278, 4 homers, 40 RBIs. His first year here in Anaheim. Popped up left center, and now Simeon ends up making the catch, even though
it's not right.
He's probably the third of the 3 who should be catching.
Exactly. Really, and he's going out as a courtesy probably, and you're thinking, come on somebody, call me off. The ball's up in the air all the time, and then a couple of guys just come jogging, and Simeon finally puts his hands up, but you can just see both outfielders, Davis and Eibner, kind of looking at each other and wondering, why didn't we call him off? Either one could have.
So 2 outs here in the second inning, and that'll bring up Jet Bandy. Bandy hitting .239 with 8 home runs and 25 RBIs.
Well, so far, the 2 guys that hit home runs, Bandy, of course, a 2-run shot. Marte got him out on a 5-3 ground out, but seemed to be staying away with the fastball. Backdoor slider, good one.
Pitch is right there, strike 3 called. So Manaea has a very, very quick inning. 3 up, 3 down with a strikeout. Third inning coming up, no score. On yesterday's win versus the Rangers, Jerome said, quote, "I wish I could give up no runs. I feel like in all my starts I'd give up a home run. Felt today was a Sunday day game. They wanted to get away, so they were swinging at every pitch, and I was on the mound like, thank you, keep swinging." End of quote.
Well, I looked at it a little bit differently. That Rangers hitter said, he's got such a great changeup. We don't want to get to it. We want to try to get to his fastball earlier. But I think that lineup that the Rangers had yesterday, the lineup's going to be playing in October baseball. And while they might have been swinging early, they did not have a 3-ball count all day. Terrell Cotton did not. Had a good cut fastball working. Good overhand curveball, fastball changeup.
Outside corner strike. So quick 0-2 to Marcus Semien.
Did ask Bob Melvin about sending him out for the 7th inning. He said he threw 58 pitches. I said got to send him out. And he ended up the home run and came out of the game. And I think as long as he had a shutout going, he might have been in the game.
Trout toward the wall, and Trout said, "I'm ready to jump if I have to, but I don't have to." So Semien comes up just a little bit short. So it had a good sound to it.
Well, they tried to get inside and missed it, and it did sound great. Maybe just a little bit towards the end, but sounded great off the bat, to the point that Trout started to go up the short wall, decided didn't have to. And it's got to be a pretty good feeling for a pitcher and center fielder not have to climb the wall.
There's Maxwell, goes after the first pitch, slices at 5. Maxwell at 284 with a homer and 13 RBIs. So certainly looks like the A's just taking a little bit of a closer look at Bruce Maxwell behind the plate. He's playing a little bit more, with Vogt DHing a little bit more. Eibner to follow here in the top of the 3rd. That one is going to be just out of play.
And Terrell Cotton yesterday, 58 pitches through 6 innings and 2 hits in the first 6. And he was dealing. Good changeup there. Another good changeup. Say what you want, or he could say they were swinging early, but his changeup was devastating. I mean, he had lefties and righties. Breaking ball there, but the thing that Kurt Young talked about, and how against the Astros they had more right-handers, so he used a little cut fastball and curveball. Against the lefties of the Rangers, he used his changeup effectively.
Just a little bit inside to Maxwell.
I think the way Cotton is pitching, granted it is September, but still you have to be very hopeful for him and to be in the rotation. And Sonny Gray is scheduled to pitch Wednesday for an inning or 2. And with Graveman, Manaea, kind of bodes well for the starting staff of this ball club. Bullpen already has been fortified from last year, as David Forrest told us.
So 2 outs here in the 3rd inning, and then I'll bring up Brett Eibner.
Okay, I'm thinking about the unfortunate accident and the death of Jose Fernandez yesterday. Remember back in 2009 when Nick Adenhart of the Angels pitched against the A's.
Somewhat similar.
Exactly. The good friends, of course, with Jared Weaver. I mean, he was one of his best friends, and unfortunately had to find out, as we all did. And of course, the game was postponed, did not play the next day after Adenhart, who pitched against the A's, and that night, auto accident, and unfortunately lost his life. And I remember Jared Weaver, how distraught he was, and had to be so familiar with what happened with Jose Fernandez all around baseball yesterday.
That's right. The game was canceled the next day here in Anaheim.
So 2009, and I mean, Nick Adenhart, the game he pitched against the A's, if he's going to pitch against everybody like he did against the A's, he had a great future. I mean, he was just dealing.
Just started too. I think that was his rookie year.
Yeah, it was.
He was always one of their top prospects. 0-2 pitch toward 3rd. Escobar has it. Escobar slings it across. 9 up, 9 down for Weaver. Bottom of the 3rd coming up. It'll be Petit Escobar and Calhoun, no score. Manaya and Weaver as Gregorio Petit steps in. He'll be followed by Escobar and then Calhoun. 9-1-2. First pitch to Petit. Hit high and foul into the upper deck.
Got a great story with Gregorio Petit, who, I mean, with all the injuries to the Angels, he'd never played the outfield, started playing left field. Took a lot of fly ball outs. Of course, he's been an infielder throughout his career, but learned to play the outfield. And he's always been a very good player. He's been around for a long time.
And he rips one foul. So quick 0-2 to Gregorio Petit. And Petit playing more than he ever has at the big league level. And he's done a nice job for the Angels.
Actually, when Johnny Giovatella was here, he would go on for defense latter part of the game.
Petit this year, not started, but has played in 43 games at second, 33 at short, 10 at third, 6 in left, and 1 in right.
Yeah.
May get him a job next year.
Absolutely.
It's funny you mentioned Johnny Giovatella and the fact that he placed on defense. And we saw him a little bit, and he always seemed like a pretty good defensive player. But there had to be a reason why they let him go, and it sounded like he just wasn't very good defensively, which kind of caught you and I by surprise a little bit. And it seemed like he did a decent job at second. We don't see him every day.
Well, that's the thing. I'm just, as you were saying that, I was thinking of Mike Socha, the manager, who makes the calls, and did see him every day, and evidently thought that they could be a better team with Gregorio Petit at second defensively. And it's Cliff Pennington doing the same. So
just a little bit outside. Foul.
In a way, you look at these games at the end with two teams completely eliminated, really fighting for fourth place instead of fifth. But it's almost like spring training. You're evaluating players in the month of September. Maybe playing longer than they would in spring training, but towards the end, you try to see what you have before the roster is decided. I think from the A's standpoint, they're getting a chance to see a lot of young players and have for the last month and a half or so.
Inside, and now a full count to Gregorio Petit. keeping that fastball right on the outside corner. He's got good control tonight.
Those 8 batters.
He has good control.
Yeah, 8 batters without a 3-ball count. All of a sudden, 10th pitch coming up to this hitter by himself.
On the infield, Joey Wendell puts his arms out and he's got it. So a very emotional day in Miami. They played baseball tonight. Jose Fernandez tragically killed, and this is what happened before the game. All the Marlins players wore the jersey with his number on it, so that was very special. And it's tough to imagine what these players are going through. Not only a teammate, but a very popular teammate, and that's tough stuff, boy.
24 years young, and his numbers pitching at home, I mean, they're comparing to Koufax, and as far as the home record, ERA, run and a half. I mean, it's very sad. The future of what it could have been for Jose Fernandez.
Well, like we said yesterday, it's just he fit perfectly there. He was born in Cuba, made it to the United States, and then you're playing in Miami, and not only are you playing there, but you're a star, and you're probably the team's most popular player. So it's really a loss for many, many, many different reasons. Escobar got out of the way, dropped the bat. He does not like that when you throw inside.
Well, it's almost like he threw the bat back, and that's why he went back to Maxwell. See if he let the bat go, and it hit Maxwell as he was getting rid of it. And that's why it went back and tapped him a little bit. Just got him on the left hand and the right hand, and didn't throw it at him. He just dropped it.
And then he rips one towards center. Eibner got over there and he made the catch. So in that game down in Miami, the leading off the bottom of the 4th, D. Gordon hits a home run. Is that unbelievable?
Well, he had Fernandez helmet on, batting right-hand. He's a switch hitter. And he took the first pitch from Bartolo Colon, changed helmets, had not hit a home run all season, and hits a home run in the first inning. And just, they said he cried all the way around the bases. Very, very emotional. And understand that the number 16 will never be worn again. It's going to be retired.
Retire that number, which is a very nice gesture by the Marlins organization.
And also for the commissioner, Rob Manfred, and Major League Baseball, for them to call and say that no way we could play the game, and got the okay to postpone the game from yesterday. And I don't know that anybody could have played even tonight. It had to be difficult, much less. And he was supposed to pitch tonight against the Mets. They were bypassed him, and yesterday started against Atlanta to start against the Mets tonight because of their involvement in postseason, potentially.
Well, you know how good Fernandez is, but he's in the other league, so you maybe don't follow him quite as close. But when I looked up, just wanted to see what exactly how good his numbers were this year, and then when I looked, 253 strikeouts, Ray, in 182 innings.
I mean, think about that. They're looking at Cy Young awards. They're looking at, who knows, maybe world championships and future Hall of Famer, and maybe, I mean, the thing that blew everybody away, probably saying it could have been the highest paid pitcher in Major League history at one time, with the contract that he was probably going to get as a free agent.
So another good inning for Manaea as we are scoreless after 3 in Anaheim.
And the Oakland A's once again partnered to bring Science of the Game program to 1st through 8th graders. Bay Area students had the opportunity to earn a pair of tickets to a regular season A's game by completing fun and challenging science equations about the game of baseball. Get more info at athletics.com/science. It's a good program all season. Glad the kids were able to do it and we didn't have to.
I agree. Joey Wendell goes after the first pitch toward Trout, who drifts back and over. One out here in the 4th inning. Got to bring up Stephen Vogt. So Jared Weaver has retired the first 10 in this game.
A's have had that happen to them a lot recently.
Yeah.
It seems like the opposing pitcher and even the A's pitcher, Kendall Graveman, had a 6-inning perfect game. That was against the Astros, the Rangers, that is Friday night.
Stephen Vogt struck out in the 1st inning. First pitch to Vogt. A little bit inside. Ryan Healy to follow. Now Vogt ahead in the count 2-0, and usually 2-0 you're thinking this is great hitters count, but Weaver will mess you all up when it's 2-0.
Well, Weaver also, second time through the batting order, he can change his whole pitching philosophy. Does not have to stay the same.
He could literally, because of how many pitches he throws and he can throw them all straight, he could literally pitch you exactly the opposite the next time through and still throw the same amount of strikes.
Really puts a lot of emphasis on his catcher to remember what they did 1 through 9. I mean, Weaver's going to think about it as well, but it's a learning experience for Jet Bandy in his rookie season. Mike Scioscia at one time in spring training, former catcher and a great catcher, he would have the catchers come back and sit down and tell them the sequence of every hitter. Make sure that they were remembering what pitches they were calling. It's quite a challenge for catchers, and there's your breaking ball, the same one Vogt struck out his first at bat. Let the 3-1. No fastball. Here comes a flipped slider. Stephen Vogt started, wanted to hold up, could not.
Three-two pitch. What's he going to throw you? 77 miles an hour. Coming in is Marte. He's got it. I'm telling you, he'll drive you crazy. Greater coverage of baseball brought to you by T-Mobile. In Oakland history, best batting average by a rookie, Mitchell Page, hit 307 in 1977. Ryan Healy, 303 this year. Weeks, Batista, and Billy Burns last year on the list.
Mitchell Page's name came up when I was talking to the Hall of Famer Ricky Henderson, because Ricky, the greatest base stealer. And I said, Ricky, did you ever look back to the hitter whenever you're stealing? And he said, I did it once. Mitchell Page was hitting, and I looked back, and he almost hit me in the head.
Yeah.
He said, I never looked back again. I just started running head first.
Big, strong,
towards
left-handed hitter.
Exactly. Right? And Mitchell swung, and Ricky said that was it. Could you imagine hitting behind Ricky and the fastballs you got because catchers wanted to have a better pitch to throw at him?
Yep.
Throw him out.
Dangerous combination.
Yeah. You know, Cap, how many times we see a left-handed hitter that maybe doesn't know if the runner's on the move because of the green light. Ricky said he actually had a sign with Dwayne Murphy. He would give him a sign, tell him when he's going to run. So Murph could fake a bunt or fake something, but he'd take the pitch and let Ricky run. But otherwise, he'd tell him, he said, you swing at fastballs if you get them.
Petit charges, throws across, 12 up, 12 down for Weaver as we go to the bottom of the 4th. No score. Log on each week as our insider Joe Stiglitz talks baseball, players, coaches, special guests, and more. This week, he's going to sit down with Joey Wendell. He's in kind of insider podcast with Joe Stiglitz. It's on csncalifornia.com, sponsored by Max Muscle Sports Nutrition. I also want to tell you that at the website, Joe Stiglitz has a very nice article on that man, Andrew Lambeau, who's with the team. He's cancer-free, which is terrific news. You know, the players were excited to see him today. So go to the website, csncalifornia.com, and read Joe Stiglitz's article on Andrew Lambeau, who is in the dugout, hanging out, having some fun. And Bob Melvin said it's great to see him, and he's in a great mood. He's healthy, cancer-free, so that's all good news. So we wish Andrew Lambeau the best of luck. He hopes to play some winter ball in the offseason.
You know, Cap also, he was raving about the A's organization. Billy Beane, he said, you know, they did a lot of things they didn't have to. And he said they took care of me, and he said I just cannot say enough great things about Billy Beane, the A's organization, and basically everything that was done during the time that he had to miss. And he was very quick to point out FanFest, I've said it before, just because his name is Andrew, don't try to call him Andy.
Andy Lambeau?
Nope. It's straight Andrew. Don't even consider Andy.
What about Ange?
No.
Just from, you know, the old Andy Griffith show, which is the greatest show ever produced on television.
In black and white.
I stand by that.
In black and white. So you're
I'm not even joking.
You're dating yourself, man.
Ange.
Yeah. Now it's great to see Andrew Lambeau, and good energy, good spirits, and when you battle the big C, you're coming back. It's great.
2-2 to Mike Trout, who had a base hit in the first inning. Just missed.
Hi, my name's Mike Trout. Mike Trout has the chance, with a week to go, 6 games for the Angels counting tonight, to do something that very few have done.
Left field indeed. Davis turning around, and he's going to watch this one go. Number 29 for Mike Trout. And the Angels have a 1-0 lead.
You know, you're going to look back at the 2-2 pitch that you could say that he deserves to get close pitches. He got one and then hit a home run, his 29th. And I was just going to say that he's got a chance, and he probably will do it, especially hitting a ball like that, to be 30-30 2 years before his 25th birthday. And he needs, I think, 3 stolen bases to get to 30, 1 more home run, and he's got 6 games to do it, and that definitely helps.
So he gets on, he's probably going to go.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. 29 homers and 27 stolen bases now. So he did 30-30 as a rookie in 2012.
49 stolen bases.
And listen, he could steal 30 bases if he really set his mind to it.
Yeah.
That year he had 30 homers and 49 steals. We're not saying that that's his sole purpose for being out there, but he knows it.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. So 1-0 Angels. Backhanded, the short hop to Simeon, and he throws out Albert Pujols. So 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. The Cleveland Indians are the champions of the Central Division, Ray. They beat the Tigers tonight 7-4 in Detroit. So Cleveland wins its first division title since 2007. Congratulations to the Indians.
Did you see what the Indians did for the front office?
I did not.
They
took
took
them to Detroit?
All to Detroit.
Awesome.
Took the front office, minor league people on disabled lists. They took them all to Detroit, so that when they clinched, everybody could enjoy it.
That's great.
It's pretty
and they
special.
clinched tonight.
Yeah.
That's a 4-game series in Detroit. The Indians wrap up the division. Although Corey Kluber, a little bit of a groin problem. He had to leave that game. So the injury situation is not getting better for the Indians, but at least they have the division title. And now you can try to rest people, do the best you can.
Still home field advantage between the Indians and Texas. I think the Rangers have a tiebreaker. Yeah, because so the Indians would have to win by a full game for them to have the home field advantage.
Well, the Rangers lost tonight, and the Indians won, so it's Texas 92 wins, Cleveland 91, and don't forget about Boston. Boston has 92 as well.
That's right.
Boston.
That's right.
Has the night off, the Red Sox.
But now, granted, Cleveland and Detroit not that far away. They had to load up the bus. I don't know how they got there, but just the simple fact that they took them and said, hey.
What was it, 2-hour bus ride?
Yeah, if you got to celebrate and want everybody there to participate and be a part of it, that's special.
Pujols swings and misses, so Marte gets Marte. Marte strikes out for Manaea's third strikeout. 2 outs here in the fourth.
Great, we're talking so much, didn't even see him. Pujols ground out as Marte, and all of a sudden he's striking out on a high fastball.
Well, we're baseball fans, right. Ray. There's a pennant race going on.
Yeah, and home field advantage. A lot of good things going on.
We wish the A's were in it, but that doesn't mean we're not going to enjoy the final week of pennant race. So the Indians listen, the Tigers are in this fight too now.
That's right.
And the Tigers, they are now 2 games behind the second wild card team, which is the Orioles. Orioles are idle. So now you're talking about being 2 games back with 6 to play. So Detroit's going to need to put on a surge. A lot going on, including a Mike Trout home run. So the Angels lead 1-0 after 4.
Teamed up to give 1st through 8th grade students the chance to earn 2 free tickets to a game with the A's Mathletics Workbook program, which engage students to solve baseball-related equations. For more information on this unique educational program, you can visit athletics.com/mathletics.
So 1-0 Angels on the Trout home run, top of the 5th inning. Davis, Alonso, and Valencia for the Athletics, trying to figure out Jared Weaver. They have not figured him out through the first 4 innings. Got 3 strikeouts. First pitch drops in for a strike. So shutdown inning opportunity. .52 pitches, so pitch count's not too bad. Simmons is right there playing in the hole, and Davis is retired.
Jared Weaver, of course, it's just the 5th inning, but he knows how and what it feels like to pitch a no-hitter. He's already done that in his career. Right now, he hasn't given up a base run. He hasn't even pitched out of the stretch yet.
So that's your first goal. Get him in the stretch.
Get him in the stretch. You know, Cap, just thinking about yesterday, the A's faced Kobe Lewis in Oakland. Similar type of pitcher, although Kobe might throw a little bit harder than Jared Weaver. Jared Weaver has a lot of other type pitches. That was a lot big delivered with a changeup.
But there's similarities.
Yeah, which can help.
Curveball and fastball count. That's a changeup at 76 miles an hour. Not only the velocity, but then it's got pretty good movement as well.
He backed it up. The previous pitch, 77 changeup that he took, came right back with another one. Thinking all along that hitters do not believe you'll throw back-to-back changeups. Fastball at 83 after a 76 seemed like 103.
Alonso struck out in the second inning. Down and in. So he's had some success with that slider down and in to left-handed hitters.
Yeah, it seems to want to go down and in back foot to the left-handed hitters versus back door. Take a chance of hanging it.
Two pitch, hit in the air. Trout went back. Now he's got to hustle in, but he'll get there. He's got it. 2 outs. And that'll bring up Danny Valencia. What a game tonight in Houston, Ray. The Mariners and the Astros opening up a 3-game series, and that's a huge series. Somebody's going to get knocked out.
Yeah.
At the end of that series, somebody's probably not going to have any chance. And the Mariners took a 3-1 lead into the bottom of the 9th inning in Houston, and the Astros have scored twice to tie it, and they're still batting.
Wait a minute, they got the kid Diaz, closer.
He gave up 2, and
wow,
there's still only 1 out in that game. So, I mean, that's the wild card. Now look at Seattle and Houston.
Yeah.
So really, neither team can afford a loss. But the fact that the Jays lost and the Tigers lost, 2 teams on that list, well, you got a shot. So that becomes a huge game. And the Mariners have given up the lead, and now they're just going to try to get it to extra innings. Astros say, forget it. Let's try to win this thing in the bottom of the 9th. So we'll keep an eye on that big game. 1 pitch is fouled, just a little short of our booth.
Well, the way Diaz pitches against the A's closing out the game, it's like he's unhittable.
Yeah.
I think Odor took him deep for a walk-off in Texas, straightaway center field. So I guess he's human.
Base hit left field. That's the A's first hit. Valencia hit it hard. Escobar dove for it, could not get it. So a base runner for the Athletics.
On top of that, it's a 2-strike pitch. They tried to go inside, which was a mistake, because he does not throw hard enough to make a mistake inside, and left it towards the middle of the plate and get a good effort by the third baseman, but that ends everything. So tell me why it would take about going inside. Just one of those pitches that, even though he's been around a long time, odds of mistake in that location bigger than any place else.
Pitch to Simeon. Hit a little bit off the end of the bat down the right field line. Simeon hit a fly ball to center field. That was in the 3rd. A little bit high. Thing with Weaver, an area where he has really struggled this year, is he's given up the most home runs in the American League. So you always feel like at some point he's gonna hang one. He's given up 37 home runs in 177 innings. So that is a very, very high number.
Marcus Semien almost hit a home run his first at bat on a 2-strike pitch. Valencia in this inning, 2 strikes, gets a base hit.
So James Shields, his numbers are combined with the Padres and the White Sox.
Really pitched 2 parks at home. Really kind of pitcher's parks.
Yep.
And yet that many home runs.
Valencia short lead at first. Angels with the full shift on both infield and outfield, playing Semien to pull. Valencia runs, pitches high. Bandy's throw is late. So Valencia in with the slide and a steal. Stolen base was on my birthday, 2015. Thank you, Danny. Appreciate that.
Well, if Petit had kept the glove on him the whole time,
Yep.
he might have gotten it, because Valencia came off, but by the time watch him hit the bag, and really he's going to kind of pull himself over the bag. There he tags him after he's on the bag, but
your foot on there.
yeah, he's going to take the glove off, put his hand on, but if he had left it on, his foot's off and his hand, he would have been out. But
Yep, you're right. I mean,
they're hanging on, they're looking at it, but
you really just need to, I mean, you should just eliminate the swipe tag.
Yeah, exactly.
And just push your glove onto the body a little bit and hold it there.
Yeah, he's not going to check it, but watch this now. Petit tags him after his foot's on the bag. Then he goes up the body, takes his glove off the body. Valencia comes off the bag. And he's, so at that point, if he stays on it, and then Mike Scioscia said, no, let's not look at it.
So very close.
Yeah. But that's the importance now of an infielder holding the tag all the way through.
Isn't it funny, Ray, how forever, I mean, tagging wasn't a big deal.
That's right.
Even sliding, sliding wasn't really that important, but now because of replay and guys coming off the bag, and it happens quite a bit, all of a sudden applying the tag and holding it and just sliding correctly has become a big deal.
And the thing is, you could be an inch off the bag, just enough that your foot comes up if the tag's on, and they're able to see it in New York. He's out. Or actually see it in the clubhouse and then pass it on to New York.
A good battle here between Weaver and Semien, tying run at second base.
Base hit right field. Looks good. That's something Marcus trying to do, and he may with this off speed stay back, and shoot it that way.
Fastball is high, so Weaver walks Semien, and Maxwell will have a chance to tie up the game. Weaver come off the mound a little strange there. Maybe tweaked himself.
Probably upset that he walked Semien, but he did do something. Let's see if we can see it on the replay. He flinched a little bit, grimaced.
He's had some back issues.
Yeah, and you know, then we were talking to him in Oakland. He says, you know, my body, I don't know if I can get it ready anymore. And talk about whether he's going to come back or not. Sometimes they just say, enough's enough. This body will not react, and still relatively young.
Yeah, who knows what Weaver's got to do to play? I mean, or to pitch. I don't know. It's like David Ortiz.
Exactly.
David Ortiz probably has a lengthy ritual that he's got to get through to get himself going.
Every day.
Oh, the young lady had it, and the young lady threw it away, but that's okay. We'll see if we can get it back. If not, John Reynolds will bring a baseball down there.
He gets off his iPad.
Maxwell down the left field line was fine. Watch this.
Hey,
job,
nice
Dad.
going.
You're awesome.
See you later. What are you doing, honey?
We've seen it before.
It's a foul ball. It's not a home run. We're not at Wrigley. Bruce Maxwell said he became a good opposite field hitter because he got a lot of off-speed pitches. Well, this guy should be perfect for him. because that's all you're going to get from Jared Weaver, something off speed. First time tonight they've had a runner at second base. They have to go through multiple signs.
0-2 pitch. Grounded to Escobar. Escobar will fire to second, and it is just in time. So the A's strand a pair. They do get their first hit off Weaver. Bottom of the fifth coming up. Stanley Cup. The Western Conference champion San Jose Sharks will soon be back on the ice. Sharks hockey returns October 15th to CSN California. The home of the authentic Sharks fan is CSN California. Here in Anaheim, it's 1-0 Angels, bottom of the fifth. Simmons, Bandy, and Petit. That's probably not hot under there or anything.
Yeah, just thinking about that. Wow.
Sometimes people lose bets. That's a fair ball. And Alonso digs it out. Nice play all around. And a decision time for Healy. Do I scoop it up and let it go foul? And he made a nice play, and Alonso's play was even better.
And Simmons can fly, and that was the home plate umpire, because it is the discretion of the home plate umpire to make the call. And Healy coming down the line, but you're right. Quick throw, quick release, great scoop at 3 that Alonso has made at first base, scooping them, and he's the master. And to catch the ball into the runner, Simmons coming down the line, but I guess the momentum by Healy, he had to decide to make the play, not knowing how close he was for it to go foul, but got the out anyway, thanks to Yonder Alonso. As Healy said, how much have you played first? He said more than third. So he's familiar with the first base, but he's also done an exceptional job at third. Of course, spending a lot of time working with Ron Washington. But watch the over-the-top delivery, the throw there. He's over the top, gets the most on it. Probably less of a sinker, even though the ball hit the ground. But if he'd thrown sidearm, the ball might have really taken off towards the A's dugout.
Foul to the upper deck.
That's one thing we have seen with Ryan Healy. He has not lost confidence. He's a very confident young man.
16 balls, 44 strikes, so terrific ratio. Fastball inside. So 2-2 to Jet Bandy, who struck out looking in the second inning. More action for Healy. He grabs it, throws in time, 2 outs. And that'll bring up Gregorio.
Alonso said, "Hey, nice throw."
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, chest high. Good changeup from Manaya to the big man Bandy and got him to roll over.
Rookie strikeout leaders, Manaya second to Michael Fulmer, the fine right-hander for the Tigers.
Good pitchers on that. Davinsky,
Yeah.
have seen him with the Astros pitch so well against the A's. Bundy, the youngster, and of course Fulmer could be the Rookie of the Year.
Cued foul. The Yankees beat the Blue Jays tonight 7-5 in Toronto. And the Blue Jays still have that #1 wild card, but now it's just a game over the Orioles. And Blue Jays win that game, they sort of give themselves just a little bit of breathing room. And with a week left in the season, you don't need a whole lot of breathing room. But they let one slip away as well. And we'll talk about that when we come back. 3 up, 3 down inning for Sean Manaea. So still 1-0 Angels after 5.
Memberships are on sale now. Whether you want to renew your membership or join the party, you can visit athletics.com/2017. You'll find all the benefits that A's membership has to offer, including early bird incentives, exclusive experiences, half-price parking, flexible ticket exchange program, and more. You can even lock in your 2017 seating location. Visit athletics.com/2017 and join the party today.
So 1-0 Angels lead, top of the 6th inning. We got a new pitcher. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and repair experts. It's Diolis Guerra coming in for his 43rd appearance, 3-0, 3.16 ERA.
Well, it wasn't pitch count. It wasn't the fact that he gave up a hit. Maybe Jared Weaver did hurt himself as he came across off the mound, but surprisingly out of the game after just 5 innings. Turned it over to the bullpen. 4 appearances against the A's, one of them in the Weaver game back on the 5th of September back in Oakland.
Well, Weaver does have a chance to get a win, but he's asking a lot out of his bullpen.
Yep.
1-0 to Eibner, who grounded out to third in the 3rd, and that one was a strike. So all in all, good performance by Weaver, but just shortened. And if we hear anything about what maybe the injury was, we will pass it on. Eibner grounded to Simmons. Simmons throws him out, 1 away. So now to the top of the order, Joey Wendell. Or note on that Yankee game we were talking about, Ray. The Blue Jays had a 3-2 lead going to the 9th inning, and the Yankees scored 5 times.
A few 9th inning disruptions tonight. Yeah.
And man, those are tough this time of year. But that game was a little chippy, as they like to say in hockey. The benches emptied twice in that game. Guys were yelling, hit by pitch. Donaldson was screaming at people. There was a lot going on in that game.
Well, that game was in Toronto, so that is hockey town, right? A lot of hockey in Canada.
Well, there was a bunch of the highlights from that. They were not a happy group. Anybody. Just checking the attendance out there. 44,000. 44,000.
Well, the Yankees draw well anyway. However, this is a special time, week to go in the season, and Blue Jays trying to hang on, some sort of postseason.
Weather had a good rip. Well, I'm looking at the ejections, and it was worse than I thought. Joe Girardi, Maurice Severino, Yankee bench coach Rob Thompson, pitching coach Larry Rothschild. So 4 Yankees, whether it be player or coach, got ejected.
How about
so
Blue
there's
Jays?
a warning, and that probably automatically.
Anybody from Blue Jays?
I don't think so. It looked like it.
So yeah,
could have been a double warning, or it could have been one of those situations, Ray, where the manager gets thrown out because of the warning, and then
the bench coach,
and then the bench coach takes over, and another pitcher hits somebody, and they both get thrown out. That's probably what happened.
That happened last year in Kansas City when Don Wakamatsu, when he got ejected, and the umpire said, "You're gone." He says, "How can you throw me out? I'm already ejected," because he was the acting manager after Ned Yost got ejected.
Over the middle, Simmons right near the bag, flips it to first, 2 outs. So what we're trying to tell you, there was a lot going on in Toronto tonight, and the Yankees came back and won the game 7-5. The Mariners and the Astros have gone to extra innings. That's now in the bottom of the 10th. 3-3 in a must-win game for both teams. Somebody's going to get their feelings hurt in that one. First pitch to Stephen Vogt is in the dirt in that National League wild card, which again, I think most baseball people are convinced that none of the 3 teams want to really win it.
Exactly.
Giants did not play tonight. They had a good day in the standings, and they didn't even play because the Mets lost that game in Miami. And the St. Louis Cardinals are home this week, and they're hosting the Cincinnati Reds for 4 games. And the Reds won tonight in St. Louis 15-2.
Wow.
Remember when we were there, Ray? We a lot of talk about how the Reds or how the Cardinals are always so good at home, but this year their record at home has not been good.
That's right.
They're 33-42 at home. Talking about the St. Louis Cardinals. So that's hard to figure out.
Just lost a tough one against the Cardinals last night.
Yeah.
So note today that Yadier Molina tonight was starting his 140th game.
Wow.
Catching. Starting.
Huh.
140 or 141 tonight. But anyway, a lot of games, and of course the full week trying to get to postseason. Yeah, he'd been pushing 150, which he's the best in the game, so why not?
Rio pitches in for a strike. So the Mets are the #1 wild card team, a half game ahead of the Giants. And the Cardinals are now on the outside looking in. They trail the Giants by 1 game. So that's the way that the National League wild card race sits right now. So none of those teams have really playing all that well. The Mets have had some spurts. Giants have been bad since really the All-Star break, and the Cardinals, seems like they've kind of spun their wheels for the second half as well.
Well, for the Mets to go into Miami, I mean, that's an emotional series as it is, and they of course need to win because of the wild card. But I'm sure Yoenis Cespedes, like Fernandez coming from Cuba, There are a lot of players around baseball, I mean, whether from the country or not. Just could not believe what happened.
Three and two to Stephen Vogt. See the eye black, number 16. And that one is hooked right field. And that baby's gone, and we're tied at 1. Home run number 13 for Stephen Vogt.
Jared Weaver left after 5, so no decision for him. Stephen Vogt got the fastball, and he just yanked it, crushed it down the right field line. And that is a great at bat. You take it to 3 and 2 after fouling one off with a couple of strikes, and then yank it down the right field line. Very deep. No chance for Calhoun to make a spectacular play. Stephen Vogt DHing, does it again. Drove in 3 runs yesterday with a bases clearing double. And a solo home run tonight to tie it.
So now Healy will hit with 2 outs.
The A's had gone 4 games without a home run before yesterday when Healy hit the silo type home run down the left field line. Stephen Vogt does it tonight.
And that one is lined left center. Did he get enough? It is off the wall. Healy hustling for second. He's going to have to go. And he is in there just ahead of the tag with a 2-out double.
Too much topspin, Kite. Amazing. When it left his bat. Here earlier when Chris Davis hit one similarly, he thought it's going to be a double. It turned out to be a home run. And same for this one. It took off. Maybe Healy thought he got enough. But fortunately running hard because the ball came back to Marte, and he made a strong throw to second. That's how close it was. If Healy is not running, he might have been out. Good hustle by Healy to get the double in scoring position.
Well, the more you watch him swing, and since we're playing the Angels, I mean, the more he reminds me of Troy Glaus.
That's a good
His
point.
swing is very, very similar to Glaus. And they're built the same.
Yeah.
Kind of that uppercut a little bit.
Yeah.
So action now in the bullpen. How do we pronounce his name?
Iggy, isn't it?
Iggy.
Iggy?
Brian, our terrific stats man, who is now one of the most popular men in the Southern California area because of, I guess there was a big article on him in the LA Times.
Deserving. Yeah. He works with that guy called Scully.
Vinny works with Brian, actually.
Yeah.
It's really.
It's going to be in San Francisco next week. This weekend.
Good for Brian.
And you know who's going to introduce himself to Brian?
Who?
B.I.
Yeah, I think B.I.'s.
B.I.'s.
Well,
B.I.
I don't know. B.I. keeps to himself a little bit.
No. He said.
Is he?
He said if Brian's going to be in San Francisco, he's going to be right next to me with a glass separating. He said I'm going to go over and say hello and introduce myself to him. Because we talk about B.I. we talk about Brian.
Yeah.
And I said I got to meet Brian.
We pit them against each other is what we do.
But congratulations to Brian. I mean, what a story. I mean,
there's Brian. He does a great job, and he has been with Vin Scully for a long, long time. And I know that
Boyd Robertson, also with Vinny.
They all had a wonderful weekend at Dodger Stadium, and they will finish it up in San Francisco this coming weekend.
I saw something yesterday I'd never seen before. And that's for a team to win the division. On a walk-off, they're on the field, put their shirts on. Dave Roberts, the manager, said, Vinny, we love you, this one's for you, and everything stopped. Vinny spoke, played a song, and then they celebrated.
Sure.
I mean, it's like Vinny with 51,000 speaking to the masses, and everything just stopped. I've never seen a celebration just stop, but it did. And appropriately, as Vin Scully, his final home game in his great career of 67 years broadcasting for the Dodgers, Brooklyn and Los Angeles. He broadcast the weekend in San Francisco, and that will be it.
Well, if you're the Rockies yesterday and you're going to the bottom of the ninth, up by 1 run, you got to be thinking, What's the chance of this just being a 3 up, 3 down, bottom of the ninth,
right.
but nothing happens? Slim.
Corey Seager took care of that, and
Had to figure that's good.
Culberson had never hit a home run in 2 years, and he gets a walk-off in the bottom of the 10th inning on Vin Scully's final game. Final game at home. And Brian's right there with him. Yeah. So, Kevin, I think you said it best. You got 3 teams vying for 2 spots, with the Dodgers clinching. The Cubs are in.
Nationals are in. They got in yesterday.
Yeah.
So the Nationals.
So Cleveland.
So everybody's in except Boston, and that's just a matter of time. In fact, the Red Sox magic number is now 1.
Yeah.
So they're going to get in. So everything division-wise is pretty settled. You just got the wild card stuff.
Well, how about a RBI number 100 for Chris Davis to put the A's ahead after that man, Stephen Vogt, tied it at 1. Chris Davis needs 1 for 100. He's got the go-ahead run at second with a 2-out double by Ryan Healy after 2 ground ball outs to start this inning. Eibner and Wendell.
Two pitch, grounded, backhanded, throw to first. Got it. Heck of a play by Gregorio Petit. But the A's do get the run to tie it thanks to Stephen Vogt and his 13th home run of the year. So as we go to the bottom of the 6th, this ball game is all tied at 1.
.com at bat app. Stay up to the moment, any moment, with game day, live game video highlights, StatCast news, and more. You can download MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball, on your phone and your tablet.
So a 1-1 game, bottom of the 6th.
So you have a report on Jared Weaver, huh?
Yeah, lower back tightness. Kind of had that look a little bit. You figured Weaver would get one more start, but who knows now?
Well, he might have pitched his best game tonight.
So the Angels with the top of their order: Escobar, Calhoun, and Trout here in the 6th. Sean Manaea at 66 pitches. He's retired 6 in a row since that Trout home run in the 4th. Escobar lays off that Manaea slider. Escobar has grounded to short and lined to center. Maxwell sets up outside. That one came across the plate. Probably, by the looks of it, probably a pretty good pitch.
Right.
But if you miss the target and then the catcher doesn't catch it, the chance of you getting a strike called, but
Yeah,
this is probably a good pitch.
Watch as he tries to catch this and going to the side instead of turning the glove the other way.
It's a strike.
It is a strike. If he catches it properly, it's a strike. You're right.
Big bouncer, Joey Wendell's right there. One away here in the bottom of the 6th. And you can't blame the umpire for calling it a ball,
Well,
really.
yeah.
I mean, it's, you know.
Cap, I've had umpires actually tell me, if you can't catch it, I can't call it.
That's fair.
Yeah,
I mean,
really.
you get their point, right?
And he may be asking right now is a pretty good pitch, and Alfonso Marquez might have said, well, you know, it's a matter of catching a ball. And it looked like a strike right down the middle. Maybe a mistake where he wanted to throw it, but that's where it ended up. But it's called a ball. 10 ground ball outs for Sean Manaea. That's the 4th time this season that he has been in double figures in ground ball outs. So that's a good sign for him, except for the one that went in the air and left the yard. Mike Trout home run.
He's now allowed just 1 earned run in his last 17 2/3 innings. So he is finishing strong, which is great to see with a young pitcher. That one is ripped to right for a base hit. Shift was on, but it went right over Wendell's head and dropped right in front of Valencia.
A flat hanging slider. And that's why Calhoun, who was hit by a pitch and a curveball, struck out and just laced this curveball, the slider that stayed up to him.
So now Trout steps up. Trout a single and a homer. So young and old, they're Trout fans here in Anaheim. How could you not be? Trout takes a little bit low.
Well, 2-2 pitch was close. The 3-2 pitch going to the middle. And with Mike Trout, all he has to do is drop the head of the bat. He likes the low pitch, and he's done it 29 times with the long ball this year.
Missed again. Close pitch, 2-0. Trout in the 2nd year of that 6-year contract he signed. 5 25+ home run seasons before the age of 25. Only 3 guys have done it. So as we like to say, it's good to be Mike Trout.
Yeah.
But he seems like a very classy young gentleman, so that's a good thing.
He's going to be marrying his high school sweetheart of 10 years. And that would be next off season, a year from now. Yeah, that was going to happen.
Yeah, 3-0 pitch, and he had a good rip. He's one of those guys. He's a right-handed hitter, but he's really a good low ball hitter. His swing is almost like a left-handed hitter.
It's just straight down, like chopping wood.
Yeah.
He looked down to Ron Renick, third base coach, and said, "I'm not going to look at you. I'm going to swing." Yeah. And he was going for number 30.
And the 3-1 pitch is off the plate. So Trout walks. And now Albert Pujols strides to the plate.
Twice now. Of course, he's on base in the first inning. Kurt Young visiting, but Calhoun was hit by a pitch. This time Calhoun got the base hit, but twice now. Trout has no chance to steal unless it's a double steal.
Trout needs 3 steals to get to 30 for the season. And 1 home run to get to 30. Pujols has grounded to the pitcher and grounded to short. I think the A's would take either of those right here. Pujols with 118 RBIs. Good speed on the bases for the Angels. Sliders low. Pujols, one of those guys who does what he needs to do to drive in a run.
Yeah.
And if that means just rolling one through the right side, he'll do that. A's have a chance to turn 2. Fired a second for 1. Wendell on the first, double play. So Manaea got the ground ball from Pujols, and the A's get out of the inning, and we are moving to the 7th. One more. From Anaheim, true story for tonight, brought to you by McDonald's. On this date in 1954, at Yankee Stadium, the A's defeat the Bronx Bombers 8-6 in the last game the franchise will play, representing Philadelphia. Connie Mack's Athletics, after spending the first 54 years of existence in the city of Philadelphia, will play in Kansas City the very next season. So, Philadelphia A's, Connie Mack managed for 50 years. That ain't all he did for 50 years. He was the owner too, right? He can do whatever he wanted to do.
Not going to fire himself.
No, I don't think so. And you know what? He always wore that sweet suit. Look at that, looking good.
You know, Art Howe did that, and as they were reminiscing or going back in time with the Kansas City A's, and Art Howe came out with a suit with a top hat, and at least for pregame.
Kansas City, Philadelphia, and then 1968 to Oakland. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and repair experts. Jose Valdez comes in for his 23rd appearance. Valdez got his first major league win against the A's back on September 5th. So that was the game that Weaver started, right?
That was it, and he came in, pitched an inning and 2/3. Andrew Bailey got the save. A's tried to come back, but Angels added 2 late, and that was just enough for the Angels to hang on.
So it'll be Alonso, Valencia, and Simeon here in the top of the 7th inning. And now 2-0. Valdez will get a quick visit after 2 pitches from his catcher. So Guerra goes 1 inning, gives up 2 hits, 1 run, the home run to Vogt. Driven toward Trout, shallow center. Trout hustling in the left center. He's got it. Don't see Mike Trout break back on a ball very often when it's in front of him. Makes good reads just about every time.
He's thinking of Marte, saying, "Why did you catch it?
Help me out here."
I've been playing first and third base. I'm not familiar with this outfit. I mean, you're in center field all the time. Yeah, you're the captain. You track it down.
So with one out, here's Valencia. Slider, but a little bit low. Close pitch.
Trout seems like in center field, he's on top of this mound, and every time a ball is hit, he just comes down off his perch and catches it. Tremendous speed. I mean, it's just kind of the way it looks from our angle. It looks like he is higher than everybody else. But whether he gets a jump or not, it has the speed to make up for it.
I don't think it's the angle. I just think he is. He's higher than everybody else. In the top of the 11th inning in Houston, Robinson Cano, a solo home run to give the Mariners a 4-3 lead.
Don't you know?
Don't you know, Robinson Cano? Well, what a year he's had.
Yes, he is. Well, A.J. Hinch, of course, the A's were swept by the Astros. A.J. Hinch said, best case scenario, the Astros beat the A's, and then Astros beat the Mariners, and the A's beat the Mariners whenever the A's go to Seattle this weekend.
But the thing is
they have to win themselves.
Yeah, and the Angels just went into Houston and won 3 out of 4.
Exactly. Yeah.
So we more than any other year, the schedule thing has not mattered.
Not at all. And as we said in Houston, it's usually when the Astros were losing badly, they beat up on the Angels. And now the Astros trying to go to postseason back-to-back years, just the opposite.
And that home run by Robinson Cano, his 35th of the year, and that's a career high for Cano.
Yeah.
So the Astros batting in the bottom of the 11th, trailing 4-3. 3-2 pitch to Valencia. Got him swinging a fastball at 97 miles an hour.
Missed just enough to go 3-0, and then 3-2, and then paints it perfectly the outside part of the plate. So Weaver 5, and it may be bullpen the rest of the way, an inning apiece. I think you're not overpowering, somewhat similar to Weaver. Fastball just the low 90s, but Valdez can tune it up a little bit higher than that.
Marcus Semien asked for time, did not get time, or did he? You could see Marcus ask for time, but I did not see Alfonso Marquez say anything. So you can see Marcus ask.
The thing that Pujols,
so they're saying no pitch. Wow.
Yeah, the thing that Pujols did, he kept his bat. Semien dropped his hand off his bat. If you ask for time, don't take your hand off.
That's right. So do it verbally, which I think the guys do, but they also do it with their hand.
Right. And he actually, Marcus got lucky. They did not call that a pitch. And maybe Marquez said that I called time, but I didn't put my hands up.
Maybe.
And maybe he did it verbally.
2-0 now to Marcus Semien.
Because whatever he said to Valdez and to Mike Scioscia was enough without any argument. So maybe that was his explanation. Normally put the hands up.
Valdez, a hard thrower. You see in 95, 96, 97. He's got pretty good stuff. That one at 97, but outside. So now it's 3-1.
You're seeing a guy pitching out of the stretch, but really out of a windup, because he doesn't have to come to a pause out of the stretch, but as he comes up, he kind of goes in the same motion. One, see right there, he doesn't pause, and really doesn't have to.
Sky toward right, where Calhoun is under it, and Valdez has a 3-up, 3-down inning. 7th inning stretch time from the Big A in Anaheim. It's a 1-1 game.
...2017 Oakland Athletics Fantasy Camp is held from January the 13th to 19th at the A's new spring training facility in Mesa, Arizona. It's been a memorable week of baseball alongside legends like Bert Campaneris, Mike Moore, Shooty Babbitt, Dave Stewart, and many, many more. Play baseball every day like a pro, and you get the scoop on what it's like to be in the big leagues. For more details, go to hendersonbaseball.com or you can call 509-993-7338.
Sean and I are back to work, bottom of the 7th. Jeffrey Marte. Healy goes down into the half slide, makes a nice play, and Marte's retired. Ryan Healy has been busy tonight. He's handled everything.
I like the fact tonight that Manaea is keeping the ball on the ground, especially with a group of hitters that have a chance to take him deep. Mike Trout has already done that with pitching the 7th inning. Terrell Cotton yesterday 7 solid innings of 3 hits with just 1 run.
First pitch to Crone, in there for a strike. Crone has grounded out to second, and he has grounded out to third. 3 hits for each team. There has not been an error in the game. Home run by Trout. Home run by Vogt. J.C. Ramirez warming up. Hit hard. Simeon cannot quite get it. So Crone will have a 1-out single here in the bottom of the 7th.
Crone, good low ball hitter, went down and got it. And Marcus Simeon, of course, the ball hit too hard. There's a ground ball that eluded an infielder.
So hit number 4 for the Angels, and here's Andrelton Simmons. Simmons has grounded out twice. Slider strike outside corner. Another good start for Manaea. 6 1/3. Sitting at 83 pitches. Eibner back and over, and he's got it for the second out.
Cap, I know we've talked about it, but once again, we're seeing Sean Manaea, runner first base. And granted, I mean, you saw him throw the ball to first base. See some bullpen activity. Must be with Ryan Dahl. He threw 2 and he's ready. But so Manaea really doesn't throw to first that much. but his slide step, and really it's really amazing that he gets as much on the pitches as he does using the slide step. Usually if a pitcher does that, it takes a little bit off his velocity, but that is not lost with the slide step with Manaea. Does it again. Just keeps doing it. I guess if you're not going to throw to first, then have a quick move to the plate, that keeps him at first. I think John Lester's kind of the same way.
Yep. John Lester's sort of mastered the art of working his way around an inability to throw first base.
So am I correct in saying the Cubs won again today?
Cubs won their 100th game today. Yeah.
Heard that winning their 99th last night was the most since
1935.
35.
Yeah.
35.
Yeah.
45 is the last time in the World Series.
Either way, it's a good year for the Cubs.
Yeah.
So we're on to the 8th, still tied at 1.
Sean Manaea making the start. It has been a good one for him. He's striking out just 3 batters. You got Calhoun, the lefty there, also abandoned a good fastball. There's a high fastball, but the thing that he has done is this: ground ball outs. Double play here, 5-4-3. But he also has 3 strikeouts, 13 ground ball outs, and 5 in the air. So Sean Manaea, an outstanding performance tonight. We'll see if he's finished. This bullpen getting loose, and bullpen for the Angels stays busy.
When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and repair experts. It's J.C. Ramirez, right-hander, comes in. So he is pitcher number 4 for the Angels tonight. Weaver, Guerra, Valdez, Ramirez. Combined numbers for Ramirez. He was with the Cincinnati Reds at the beginning of the year, claimed off waivers from the Reds on the 26th of June by the Angels. So he's going to face Maxwell, Eibner, and Joey Wendell. Bruce Maxwell has hit a fly ball to center field, and he has grounded to third. Now 3-0. The Mariners won that game in Houston, Ray, 4-3. So Cano's home run was the difference in the top of the 11th. Astros had a couple of runners out in the bottom of the 11th, but could not score. So a big win for the Mariners and for the Astros. They're now 3.5 games behind the Orioles in the wild card with 2 teams in between them. So
it's tough.
Maybe all but over for the Astros. Base hit left field down the line. Maxwell will make the turn and stop at first. So A's have their leadoff man aboard.
Got a fastball on the inner part of the plate, but he just shot it to left field, and not surprisingly, it's going to be a pitch runner for him. But a good base hit, opposite field hitting on the 3-1 fastball by Maxwell. So the A's with McBride as the other catcher, along with Stephen Vogt, who's DHing tonight. Max Muncy is the pinch runner, and you have to think that McBride will go in to catch. Then you have Vogt as the DH, who could also catch if necessary. So the importance in September, if you increase the rosters, you can at least have a third catcher.
So here's Eibner. Eibner is 0 for 2. He's grounded out a couple of times. To bunt, and it runs in.
Wow.
And almost hit him.
May
He was
have.
able to make contact. Yeah. So that one was right at him.
Check the fingers.
Oh.
Yeah, I think you got it. If you don't put the hand behind the bat, you wrap the bat with your fingers.
Not good.
Ha! Worst thing in the world to get hit like that. There's a technique in putting your thumb and your fingers behind the bat, so the bat is actually protecting your right hand when you square around the bunt. And get out of the way so it doesn't hit you in the chest.
Shows bunt again, and it's low. Corner infielders charging. So that is updated. All games are final. So as of the finals, that is where the American League wild card stands right now. Blue Jays and Orioles still the 2 wild card teams, and the Mariners and the Tigers 2 back. 2 back.
So right
with
now,
6 to play.
Right now, those 4 games in Seattle are going to mean something.
You know what? There's a decent chance.
Yep.
And another one up and in, and Eibner tried to get out of the way, but he popped it up, and Crone grabs it. So that's a frustrating at bat.
And you know, Kat, ideally, if you're pitching and you see a guy square around, this is what you're supposed to do. It's probably unintentional, but you pitch up in the zone. It's tough to get on top and bunt it down. This one is self-defense. Happened to make contact and went so hard it went to C.J. Crone.
And right now, Brett Eibner wants to snap the bat over his knee.
Better make sure it's fractured before you do that, because you may fracture your knee. Those guys who take the bat and do that, usually it's got already a break in it or a very thin handle.
There's Joey Wendell. Wendell is 0 for 3. Chops one towards short. Could be 2 out at second, on to first, and that is a double play. So the A's get the leadoff runner on, but do nothing with it. Bottom of the 8th. Coming up, 1-1 game. summary brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. 1-4-0 for the A's, 1-4-0 for the Angels. So good pitching tonight. Manaea was terrific. 13 ground ball outs in 7 innings. Stephen Vogt a home run, Mike Trout a home run, and that is all the scoring. So it is now a bullpen game, bottom of the 8th inning. And we're going to pinch hit for Gregorio Petit. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change, tune-up, and repair expert. So Ryan Dole comes in here, bottom of the 8th inning.
Well, Ryan Dole's in the batter spot because Stephen Vogt's taken out the DH, and A's don't have a DH. But this latter part of the game, figure Ryan Dole's only going to pitch 1 inning anyway, and it would be enough guys on the bench to pinch hit. But what a performance by Ryan Dole or Sean Manaea for 7 solid innings.
This is Rafael Ortega pinch hitting for Petit. So there is Stephen Vogt. Ortega takes a strike. 1-1 the count. Escobar to follow, and then Calhoun. Bottom of the 8th inning. Ortega chased a pitch that almost hit him. So 1-2. Ortega 225. He's got 1 home run. As a pinch hitter, he's 5 for 8 with 4 RBIs. Rolls that one foul. Dull slider moving down in.
A very good backdoor slider. They got second strike, but since then it's been a slider down and in, trying to get him to either swing and miss over the top of a slider or hit a ball to the right side. Alonso semi-guarding the line of first base. Big hole between first and second.
So 2-2 to Ortega. Good take. So now Dull has to come in. Just don't want to see anybody in scoring position. Trout and Pujols come up. 3-2 pitch. A high fastball. He struck him out.
When in doubt, challenge. He's got a good enough fastball to do it, and especially that elevated fastball. And that's exactly what he does. That pitch, 3-2. Hitters a little bit try to do too much instead of just a nice easy swing. That's a huge swing. Opening up was the hitter, and enough for Ryan Dole to throw it by him.
So here's the top of the order in Yunel Escobar. Slider outside corner for a strike. Most games pitched, Oakland A's rookies, Cook and Aaron Small, and then Ryan Dole is second. So you've got a chance to get to that top spot. Ryan Cook 71 games in 2012.
If Dole can do that, maybe he'll do it against the team that Ryan Cook is pitching for now, although on the disabled list, Seattle Mariners.
Escobar is 0 for 3.
Might be a record that he'd like to have, but Bob Melvin, on the other hand, might be saying, I'd rather let him rest. Of course, he wants to try to win the games. Melvin does, which means that Ryan Dole would be put in these situations.
And now 3-1. So Escobar lays off the high fastball. Looked like Dole got underneath that one a little bit, pushed it. So Escobar on 3-1 probably will let it go. And he does. And he shoots one up the middle. And I say let it go. I mean, you go swing hard.
Yeah.
So he got a hitter's count, and he's got a 1-out single. So that's the go-ahead run. We'll see how the Angels maneuver around here. Escobar runs pretty well.
Well, you give him that kind of a pitch, he's going to do some damage. Unfortunately, up the middle on the line drive.
Escobar, not a stolen base guy, but decent speed as far as going first to third. And now it'll be Calhoun. Taylor Simeon right behind second base. Outfield playing pretty straight up for Calhoun, and the first pitch is outside. So some tense, tight moments here late in the game at the Big A. Calhoun chokes up a fair amount. Runner goes, and it's hit foul. So a little hit and run. Mike Scioscia trying to get things moving. I don't think Calhoun would do this. He's got 17 home runs. He likes to swing, but it's just a spot where if you looked, laying out a bunt.
Yeah, I know.
With Trout in the on-deck circle, any kind of bunt up the third base line, it's going to be a hit.
Or
Either
just
back and over.
Just let the ball travel, get on top of you, hit a ball to the gap on the left side. Entire shortstop open, but you're right. Healy's playing back. He would not get to a bunt. He would have to depend on Healy to do it. Or Dole.
And that is fair. And that's trouble. Escobar hits second. Escobar digging for third. They're going to hold him up. The throw comes back in. Alonso grabs it. So second and third and 1 out. And a very close ball at first must have went right over the bag.
Yeah.
As Ryan Blakeney called it fair.
And off speed, you can see the dancing feet of Calhoun to wait, and then hooked it in. But Alonso going back, and it just had to go to the bag if he doesn't catch it. And I figure they'd like to get a double play with Albert Pujols, so they're going to put Trout on again. And Albert does not like this, but you have to do it. Mike Trout, first of all, there's no forced possibility. So intentional walk to Mike Trout, and see if they can get Albert Pujols. There are certain hitters that really take umbrage in having somebody intentionally walked in front of them.
I just don't think the A's have any other choice.
No, there's no choice.
Here.
Absolutely not. No choice at all.
As dangerous as Pujols is, you know, the double play possibility is a big part of him coming to the plate. Mike Trout is about to receive his 112th walk, most in the majors.
But you're right. I mean, it is something that, I mean, sure, Albert Pujols can use it. Maybe it's an advantage to be upset that they're, but it's not the first time this has happened to him.
No.
Matter of fact, the A's have done it with Albert coming up, and it allows the A's to play back. Joey Wendell trying to figure out where he's going to play at second. The only danger part here is the good fastball, the hard slider by Ryan Dull. This is where Albert Pujols will give up any possibility of pulling a ball unless he's fooled, and just try to take the ball to the right side.
First pitch, good pitch, but called the ball. Pujols hit into a double play in the 6th inning, Ray. That's the 24th time that he has hit into a double play this year. So that's a very, very high amount. And boy, the A's need another one right here. And it's cued toward Dole, who drops it, and the runner's going to score. Pujols is out, and the Angels take the lead. Wow. He was going to come home, and he would have had a play. Remember, it's not a tag, it's a force, and I think they would have had Escobar. But once he juggled, nothing he could do.
You're right, Kai, because once you go after it, it's I gotta hurry, and he had set himself to turn and throw to the plate. Instead, flipped it to Alonso at first, and they get the out there. But he had turned and just ready to pick it up and fire to Stephen Vogt. Right there. He looked up, and maybe the fact that he looked up is what cost him.
So it goes as an RBI ground out for Pujols, so he gets the job done, and the Angels have the lead. Here's Marte. Marte takes a strike. So second and third, 2 outs now. So Pujols, RBI number 119. That one fouled right up over our head, so you really got to get this guy. Marte is 0 for 3. 2 groundouts and a strikeout. Bailey getting loose.
Yeah, this is a big out just to make sure 1-run deficit, and that's it.
Alonso over, but he'll run out of room.
And you're going to see coming down the line is Escobar, and as Doe goes over, he picks it up there. He could throw, and Stephen Vogt did not get the ball. And you'd look up, and that's what the anticipation. Ball hit to me. What do I do? And you have to figure. Don't have to look at the runner if the ball is anywhere close. I have to go to the plate. That's the only chance to prevent a run from scoring.
And when you watch that replay, you realize it would have been very close. And maybe the best play for Dole may have been to flip it backhanded. And even though it would have been a long flip, maybe too long, but he was going to have to turn his whole body around to try to get the throw to home. 1-2 pitch. Slowly hit. Wendell charges. Throw to first. Got him. So the Angels get a run on 2 hits as we go to the 9th. 2-1. Angels lead the A's. Bay Area fan know-it-all with Sportsnet Central. It's brought to you by Hyundai. It's tonight at 10:30 and it's on CSN Bay Area. First we'll have Warriors Media Day coverage. Big day in Oakland. Kings Media Day in Sacramento. Forget about the Kings opening up a new arena in downtown Sacramento. And Del Rito on the big road win. So a busy show as always. Sportsnet Central. Kelly Johnson and Mindy Bach will host. What time is it, Ray?
9:30.
9:30. How do you know that?
Because it's fireworks at Disneyland.
All right, that's it. Simple stuff here in Anaheim. We've been here a lot. We know the deal.
But you know what it is tonight, though?
What?
It's Halloween at Disneyland. Close the park at 6 tonight, except for Halloween party. So this is a fireworks 4.
Could we get over there yet?
I don't think so. Plus, it's not Halloween for another month.
That's true. That's why I'm confused.
I was confused when I found
that. It doesn't take a lot
that
to
out.
confuse me. So
Yeah, but it doesn't take much for kids and grandkids to know that those things go on. So, yeah.
Andrew Bailey comes in, trying for his 6th save. 5 for 6.
One of those on September the 5th against the A's, and it's amazing a comeback by Andrew Bailey.
And we like him so much, we hope he does well. Maybe not against the A's. Cliff Pennington at second base, Shane Robinson in left field. Now there's your defensive changes with Bailey jumping ahead of Vogt 0-2. Healy to follow, and then Chris Davis. 2-1 Angels lead. Up the third base line. Wouldn't that be a thing of beauty?
Oh, yes.
But not to be. Stephen Vogt, a homer in the 6th for the A's only run.
This is a fastball that tied it, and it did not take long to get out. Homer number 13 for Stephen Vogt.
To pitch, popped up, could be a play. Bandy, and did he catch it? He did. He hung on, sliding into the railing, and he hung on. So Jet Bandy had a hustle over there. It was really not a very high pop-up.
And there's no way Escobar, where he was playing, was going to see Escobar then hustling over near the dugout of the Angels and into the padded rail. Nice play by Jet Bandy, and caught the ball, and then as he hit hard, found out how close he was going to be to the rail, stuck his glove out, made a nice play, knowing he was going to have to take a little bit of damage on his body. Got the weighted bat to get those bats back in the dugout, especially not hitting. Nice play though.
So with 1 out, here's Ryan Healy. So a couple of power threats coming up in Healy and Davis. And a strike right at the knees, 94 miles an hour. Healy has grounded out twice, and he has doubled. Double in the 6th inning, is 17th of the year, along with his 12 home runs. Pitcher number 5 for the Angels, Andrew Bailey. Trout pulled over into left center field just a little bit. Robinson deep in left. And a hanger, and he fouled it back.
It's a good one to hit. All right, Healy, and of course we saw him yesterday pull the hands in and hit a towering home run off Kobe Lewis down the left field line. This one, though, well, came in hard enough that he had no chance to really drive the ball.
Right back to Bailey. So Bailey kept it away from him, and that's the 2nd out. So last hope for the A's is a man that has 40 home runs. Chris Davis, 41 would tie the game. So Bailey's going to have to work for this one.
Andrew Bailey, as we saw with the A's, thanks to Gil Patterson and the A's organization, taught him the cut fastball. It's a pitch that helped him win the Rookie of the Year. Several different injuries, but now throwing a low 90s fastball, cutter, and curveball. And really not afraid to throw it, especially when a pitch like that can end up in the seats. But no swing by KD. And you want to take a look at it, and they got a fastball to hit.
Davis tonight, 2 groundouts and a strikeout. Good slider there by Bailey. And the count is 0-2. So the crowd, 129,000, rises to its feet.
First pitch fastball, second pitch curveball. And now he'd probably get him to try to chase either curveball or cutter.
Pretty good 0-2 pitch by Bailey, and Davis lays off. Full shift on for Davis in the infield. And a fastball out over the plate. We've seen Davis hit that pitch out to right center. Bailey may have given him a little too much to the plate on that pitch. Roll foul, breaking ball that stayed on the inner part of the plate.
Pitcher gets ahead with a couple of strikes. He doesn't have to throw a strike and get an aggressive hitter, try to get him to chase.
Davis, no swing.
Right, lightning, a lot of credit. Don't want to end the game on a check swing.
Can't do it.
Chris Davis is so strong that he's. Clearly.
Clearly ain't no swing. 2-2 pitch in the dirt. Now 3-2. Bailey trying hard to get him to chase. Davis has not done it.
And it'd be foolish to throw him a four-seam fastball, you would think, especially when he's trying to get him to chase. Yeah, might as well continue because Chris Davis should be looking for a fastball. Unless he gets a mistake and can't hit a home run.
3-2 pitch, here it is. And it's a fastball a little bit up and in, and the A's have a base run. Good at bat by Chris Davis.
0-2 to a walk. That's a great at bat by Chris Davis.
So just the second walk issued by Angels pitchers.
Wow.
These gentlemen are still hanging around.
I'm hot just looking at that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Smoking hot just watching that. They're probably saying, come on, Beetle. So I can take this thing off.
The bet was you have to leave it on the entire game. So here is Yonder Alonso. 2 fly balls to center and a strikeout.
Where's John Jaso when you need him to come off the bench and hit a home run first pitch? Jaso did that a couple of times when he's with the A's. Alonso could do the same when he gets Pat Neshek at the Coliseum.
Alonso takes a ball.
That's a lot of paying attention to a guy that probably is not thinking about running.
No, I don't think he is either.
Yeah, and Bailey threw over, then a long pause, almost the point you thought Alonso was going to step out. And I'd be shocked if he ran. Mike Scioscia would do it, but he's got some guys that could do it. Steve Vucinich helping the skipper.
Good luck, John.
Yeah, tell him what to do. I don't think the skipper's listening.
1-0 pitch, strike outside corner, 93 miles an hour. 1-1 the count. Full shift for Alonso. in the outfield. Trout is playing extreme. He's out there. See him? He's way out there.
You know,
He's out there.
The way he robs guys, why would he play no doubles?
He's playing deep. Huge gap in right center. Foul down the left field line. Bailey coming right at him with a fastball. So now Alonso behind in the count, 1-2. Fastball away.
Now the Angels have gone through some closers.
Yeah, they sure have.
Rubeda getting an opportunity, even though he's been injured quite a bit since he's with the A's, but an opportunity for him, and he's doing a good job.
Bedrosian's out for the year.
Street. Gone.
Houston Street. A lot of pitching injuries for the Angels this year, and they just have not been able to overcome them. 2-2 pitch, and Alonso got one to hit. So this one was kind of flat.
Flat. It's the only thing that helped, maybe with 2 strikes. Could not be overly aggressive. Yep. Hook one down the right field line, let it roll around, and Davis can score easily.
Calhoun. Quite a ways off the line. Two pitch, bounced foul. So good battle here. Chris Davis had a very good at bat off Bailey, and Alonso trying to do the same. Valencia hoping to hit. These post-game live coming up after the ball game. Two pitch, tap to the right side. Simmons with the shift on, cuts in front, throws on Alonso, and that's the ball game. So the Angels score a run in the bottom of the 8th inning, and that's enough to break the 1-1 tie, and they take game 1 of this 3-game series here in Anaheim. Time of game was 2 hours and 35 minutes. The attendance tonight was 29,934. Final score from the Big A in Anaheim. The Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim 2 and the Oakland A's 1. You've been watching A's Baseball on CSN California. It's all part of the NBC Sports Group. Don't go away. A's Postgame Live with Brody Brazil and Pip Roberts starts right now.